Hi family, this video is about vaccines, immunizations. You go to your kid's well checkup and you get these needles injected into them. I know it's not a fun experience. I did them when I was a baby. A lot of you have done them. What I don't want to do is condemn you or make you feel like you've been a bad parent, but there are some things about these that you are not told. And today in the office I had a conversation with a guy just a few years younger than me. He's a great guy, great family, great kids. His upbringing, he's a solid dude, hard worker. I know his family, they're all awesome. And this, I don't know what brought up the subject of vaccines, but his gut instinct reaction was to defend the decision to vaccinate their kids. And understand, so I'm 47 years old now, and I've been working with people on how to get healthy for like 30 years. So it was ever since I was a teenager. Well, when you're trying to get somebody healthy out of the nursing home mentality, out of the doctor's office, or out of the nursing home, or out of the hospital, when you're trying to lead somebody to health, it makes sense to understand what gets in the way of them being healthy. Does that make sense? So you have to look at what's keeping you from being healthy and what's actually getting you healthy. So listen, before you go Google and YouTube any information about vaccines and you see all this controversy and all this name calling and blah 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 blah, I'm going to tell you one fact. I'm going to tell you one thing about these vaccines that I hope makes you at least think about it. In the 1990s, there was a medication called Vioxx, which is not a vaccine. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's like a painkiller type thing that this drug company called Merck, stay with me, okay, follow me through this story. They tested it on people, they went through the drug trials, and they got it approved. And it took years to get it approved. Well, then it was approved, so all these doctors started to prescribe it to their arthritic patients and these pain patients. My family was part of that. Some of my family actually has taken Vioxx. Well, then these side effects started happening, especially heart damage, and people started dying because of this drug. And this is not an opinion. People actually died from taking Vioxx. And when the lawsuits, or when enough people started dying, this lawsuit was filed, a class action lawsuit. This is again in the mid-90s. You can find it. It's easily to find. 96,000 people, 96,000 were shown to have died because they took this drug Vioxx. Now I'll tell you how that relates to vaccines in just a minute. 96,000 people. Think about that for a second. If you went to a restaurant chain, let's say any fast food restaurant you could think of, and 96,000 people died from eating one of their meals, one of their cheeseburgers, how fast would that restaurant chain be out of business? Of course it'd be gone. This drug company, Merck, killed 96,000 people with this drug. Now you might think they were trying to help with this anti-inflammatory, this medication. Oops, we made a mistake. But in the class action lawsuit, that was a $3 billion, with a B, $3 billion lawsuit settlement. In the class action lawsuit, in the hearings, this is what came out in the transcript. Apparently, Merck knew their drug was killing people and harming them. So they instructed the drug representatives to tell the doctors this. They told the drug reps to tell the doctors, prescribe this medication or we will find you in your home and bury you. Let me say that again. This is before it was pulled off the shelf. It was on the shelf for years, killed many thousands of people. And while it was doing that, the Merck, the drug company, told the drug representatives who sell the drugs to the doctors to tell them, we will bury you in your home if you don't prescribe this drug. That was the essence of what came out of the court transcripts. Think about that. What does all this have to do with vaccines? Well, Merck is the largest manufacturer of vaccines on the planet. Now, I don't know about you and all this conspiracy garbage that's out there on the internet and who said this and who said that, what doctor says this, what doctor says that. Listen, I can line up, I know about 20 doctors, medical doctors, legitimate people that will tell you, do not vaccinate, do not vaccinate. Of course, there's 50,000 doctors that will tell you to vaccinate. Now, forget all that for a second. The drug manufacturer that killed 96,000 people, and that's just the people that found out. It could have been way more. And they were telling doctors, we will bury you unless you give this medication. That's the company that makes vaccines that gets injected into babies. I don't know about you, but I don't trust that system. There's more to this story. There was also, unfortunately, Ronald Reagan passed a thing that gave them immunity. You cannot actually sue a drug company now for vaccines. You can sue them for Vioxx, you can sue them for other drug-related deaths, but you can't directly sue a drug manufacturer for a vaccine. You have to go to a special court. The whole thing is governed by the drug companies. I mean, it is scary. And because of that, our daughter has never had a single vaccine. She never will. It doesn't make any sense to us. Okay, just for a second, forget this whole Merck thing, forget the drug company thing. Forget the arguments that you see on TV and through the media and all the drug commercials. Forget all that for 1 second. Does it make any sense if you're a believer that if God made us perfect, or if you feel like if you believe we evolved from amphibious creatures, does it make any sense that over all those thousands of years, 6,000 years if you're a believer, or millions of years if you're an evolutionist, that happened without any injections? Diseases came and went. And now all of a sudden in the last 100, 150 years we have to have injections to thrive as a human population? No. It doesn't make any sense that we have to inject this crap. Science be damned. It's all bought and paid for by the people trying to sell the drugs. Rant over. If you're watching this and you're in our office, understand something. My job is to educate you on living, on life, on the power that's in the human being. And crap like injections and vaccines goes against the very nature of how we were made. On top of that, the people making the drugs, they've been sued for billions. They've been caught threatening doctors to cover up deaths and side effects. Whatever you decide to do, we're going to love you, obviously. We're going to lead you as best we can. As a chiropractor, my job is to help you lead the most uninterrupted life as you possibly can, the most uninterfered with. Subluxation is this thing that interferes with life, and I want you to be as little subluxated as you possibly can. No matter what you decide to do, what tomorrow you decide to do, or what you have done in the past, my life is not perfect. We screwed up. I was a sick baby, if you haven't heard that story. We love you. I want tomorrow to be better for you. I want it to be uninterfered with. I want it to be thoroughly uninterfered with for your children and your babies, so that they don't fall into this trap that the rest of the kids are. I mean, we have the sickest kids in history in this country. That's what I want. And I'll do whatever it takes to get that point across to you. So I hope this made logical sense. This opened your eyes a little bit. I love you. Stay tuned for more videos. Talk to you next time.